This is a video on economics for the students of class 12, and we were discussing about theory of supply. Now, in the previous video, we had discussed about what is the law of supply and how does the curve looks like. Now, there are various factors which actually affect the upward shift, or you can say there are various factors or functions which affect the supply of the commodity. Meaning to say, when do the producers supply more or supply less? So there are factors which affect the supply of a good. Now the first factor that we are going to discuss today is price of the commodity. Now price of the commodity is basically affected by the goods that are being produced in the market. Now, if the cost of the goods are higher, you gain more profit, and that is beneficial for the organization. So the goods that you are selling, the price of that commodity is very important. If the cost of production per unit of the commodity is higher, that means your profit margin will be also higher, and that will ultimately lead to earning of more profits for the firm. So price of that individual commodity is very important. Next, we have goals of the producers. Now there are basically, if you see, three types of goals that a producer aims at. The first one is your profit maximization. This one is very common, that the firms, they don't produce for any charitable institutions. The main motive is to earn profits. That is why they're spending so much on the production, on the designing of the product, everything. Now goals of the producer is to maximize profit. This is one of the very important goal. Now goals of the producers can be maximized how? When you are producing more and you are selling more. That means when you're producing more, you are actually circulating, or you are supplying larger quantity. If the stock that you are supplying is more, obviously the profits that you will be earning will be more. So profit maximization can be done with the supply as if your sales is increasing. Now second is your sales maximization. Now if you want to have a larger market share, you need to supply more. Now if you want, there are some firms who does not aim at maximizing profit always. They want a market share. That means that this particular commodity should be purchased of my company only. That means they want more people to buy the goods of their company. They want that this particular product rules the market in this field. Like suppose you can say, for example, toothpaste. So you want that, okay, you have a company named Colgate. Now you want that people should not go for any other product, that the market should, it should have so much of my goods that the retailers are, they are selling only Colgate. That means if the stock of Pepsodent gets over, the consumer will only have the choice of buying the Colgate. So you have so much of your product in the market that only your goods are purchased as a whole. You are trying to sell it in almost every shop, from small tea stalls to big shops like that. So you have your product everywhere. So that is your sales maximization. You're reaching almost every household. Third one is risk maximization. Now risk maximization, it actually tries to avoid taking risk. It wants to be being on a safer side, you can say. When I say avert risk, means to minimize the chances of getting a loss. If you don't, but remember, you must have read in business studies also that if without risk you cannot have profits. You have to take up risk. If higher the risk, higher is the profit. Now if a consumer is trying to avert risk, that in that case he needs to sell less, he needs to supply less, he needs to produce less. Now if the producers are producing less, you're getting less profits. It's simple as that. If you want profit maximization, produce more, supply more. If you want sales maximization, produce more, supply more. If you want risk maximization, if you want profit, you want to enhance your business, there also you need to produce more and sell more. But if you try to avert risk, or you do not want to take risk, in that case, if there are certain companies who does not want to take any risk, they want to be on the safer side, so such companies, they produce less and also supply less. Next point is your input price. Now, what is an input price? Input, we know, in case of production, it is the cost that is involved in producing a particular good. Now, if the cost of production is very high, if the company is spending too much on the production of the good, this will ultimately affect the price of the good and also the profit margin of the company, because the profit that he's estimated to earn will be very less, because he's spending a lot on the production of that particular good. So input prices play a very important role in the profit maximization of the company, because if the cost of production is too much, this affects the growth of the company also. So nowadays, with the advent of new technologies, more of the companies are trying to minimize their cost of production. Next, we have price of the related commodities. Now we know that a particular company does not involve in just one particular good. They try to produce more than one kinds of commodity. Now, if suppose, for example, the company is already producing a commodity and now it is introducing another commodity in the market. Now, if the company focuses on the production of other commodity and he feels that the second commodity that he has started producing is earning him more profits, so his entire focus will be, on production, more and more production of the second commodity that he has introduced. So what happens is this will create an disadvantage for the first commodity, because the more production is being made of the second commodity, that means the company is earning more profits from the second commodity, so he will be supplying more, whereas in case of the first commodity, the supply will automatically decrease. Like in the example in your textbook, they have given about a farmer who is actually selling who's actually growing crops of this peas, okay, and cabbage. Now, if the sale of peas, or if you say the demand for the pea is more, the farmer is able to supply more of peas at a lesser investment. That means he'll sell more of the peas, he'll produce more of the pea crop than going for the cabbage. Yes, so what happens is automatically the production of cabbage will decrease. He will not grow cabbage, and he won't plant cabbage plants more, he'll go more for the peas. So this is what happens in case of companies also. The products which is accepted in the market, companies try to increase their production and supply henceforth, so the first commodity will be lagging behind, the supply of that commodity will decrease. And next we have techniques of production. Now this is a very simple determinant and it's a very important one also. I'll highlight some of the very important determinants of supply that you will be seeing in the supply function also. So let us see what is techniques of production. Now when new technology is introduced in a company, so that technology has been introduced so that your cost of production is minimized. Now when the cost of production is minimized, now suppose you are selling a good for rupees 10 and it was costing you rupees 6 for, your cost of production was rupees 6 and you were selling that commodity for rupees 10. So your profit margin was rupees 4. Okay. Now when you are introducing the new commodity in the a new technology in your firm, so that your cost of production is minimized. Now today, with the bringing of that new machine or a new technology in the firm, now that same pen you are producing for rupees 4 and you're selling it for rupees 10 only, because you have incurred a cost in producing in buying that machine also. So your cost of sales will remain the same, but you must remember that that particular machine is helping you to produce more with less cost. So today you are producing that same pen for rupees 4, but you're selling it for rupees 10. So earlier you were having rupees 4 as your profit margin, but today you are having rupees 6 as your profit margin. So your profit is increasing, you are producing more, you are supplying more, so the company will expand. So techniques of production is another important factor which helps in increasing the supply. So changing technology also affect the supply of a commodity. Next, we have the nature of industry. Now, nature of the industry. Now, we know that there are different types of industry. There are monopoly industry, there is competitive industry. Now, in case of monopoly, we know that there is one firm which is producing that particular good. There is basically no mere competition in the market. So he is very dominant in, with his price. But when it comes to your competitive market, that means there are a lot of industries who are competing with each other. There are a lot of options in the market in case of the competitive firms. Now if the competitive firms increase their sales, increase their production, so they are likely to earn more, because monopoly has restricted, because monopoly the goods that are sold on the monopolistic market is very restricted. It is for a specific market group. But competitive goods, these are sold in large numbers, so you produce in the urge of competition, you produce more and you supply more, you sell more, and you earn larger profits. So, the nature of the industry also affects the supply of a particular commodity. Next point, we have policy of taxation and subsidies. Now we know that cost of production affects the supply of a commodity. Similarly, taxation or imposing of any new duty, excise duties, etc., these also affect the the goods in the market. If this products that you are producing have higher cost, if the cost of that getting the goods in the market is increasing, so with the increase in, you're trying to sell more to earn more profits. You want that, since you are paying tax for this particular good, this amount of tax, you want to produce more so that you have a higher profits. There should be a higher profit margin, and your intention is to supply more so that you can earn more to pay those taxes, and then this is how you increase your supply. Now if the taxation is lowered, now there are various kinds of taxes imposed on a particular good. Now we know that if any new taxes is imposed on a commodity or on a good, it increases the cost of production. Now if it increases the cost of production, the supply will decrease. Supply will decrease, your profit margin also decreases. Now if I say in one sentence, if the taxes by government taxes is being increased, your supply will fall. If the taxes are minimized, your supply will increase, because your cost of production decreases. Higher the cost of production, lower is the supply. Lower is the cost of production, higher is the supply. It goes that way. Next, we have expectations about future prices. Now if the firm is estimating that in the future the demand, after a month or after 2 months, there is an estimation that particular good that the firm is producing will have largest sale in the market. There will be more demand for that particular good. So what they do is they try to supply less. They try to they'll release less commodities and try to hoard the goods. Now what happens is, since the goods are being hoarded, it creates the demand. So if the demand is higher, so the prices of that commodity will automatically be increased, because there is a demand for that particular good. People are looking for that good. Now what happens is, with the expectations about future price rises, is that it is basically like there is an expectation of price rise in future. So the producers, they hoard the good, they do not sell, and when they see that okay, now the price has risen of that particular good, now they try to supply those goods in larger quantity to earn, to basically earn higher profits. So expectations of future price rise also affect, the supply of the commodity. What they do is, if there's just, in one sentence, if I say there's an expectation of price rise in future, you stop the supply of the good today. When the price rises, you sell more because there is larger demand for that particular good, so you are supplying more. Since you are supplying more, your profits will also increase. Natural factors. The natural factors, they affect in both ways the supply of a commodity. Now, if I consider agricultural commodities, if a particular region is suffering any natural calamity, so in those areas, what happens is the supply of the goods are very less, so this they affect, the supply. The producers do not produce more, so the supply is limited. But if there are certain areas where climate is very favorable, the conditions are very suitable for production, so people, agricultural produce is more. Since agricultural produce is more, you are supplying more. Remember, I'm considering in case of your agricultural commodities. In case of regions where you have a natural calamities, you do not, the agriculture produce is very less. So if it is less, the production is less, supply is less. But if the climatic conditions and everything is okay, if everything is favorable, the production is more, so you're supplying more. Next is agreement among producers. The next point is very familiar, and we have seen it in our daily life also. What happens is, in certain cases, the producers, they come up together and they try to earn more profits. Now, how do they earn more profits? They do not supply the goods, a particular good, for a for a period of time, just to create a scarcity in the market for that particular good. Now what happens is, if there is a scarcity but the demand is more, the good is available less in the market but the demand for that particular necessary good is so much, so what happens, the price of that particular commodity increases. So they actually decrease the supply by creating a scarcity in the market, and once the price rises, they increase the supply of that particular good. This we usually see when the onions and all, suddenly the price of the onions increases because there is hoarding in the market. The producers, they do not supply the good and they try to create a scarcity kind of scenario in the market. So what happens, suddenly the demand is continuously increasing but the availability of that good is less. Now what happens, the sellers, they actually increase the price of the particular good and then sell them. Now once they increase the price, what happens, they supply more. Transport and communication facilities is very important. If you have proper roads, if you have proper means of transporting and communicating facilities, you can actually supply your goods at ease. You can supply your goods at any corner of the country, so that will increase your production. With increase in production, you are supplying more, so you're earning more. Now if the sub transport or means of conveyance is not very strong, that means you are sure that your production, the goods that the goods that you're producing will have to be sold to a limited area only. That means you're producing less and supplying less, so you're earning less. So transport plays a very important role in the supply of a good. So this is all we have from the video today. Thank you.